Hey there, everybody. For this week's assignment, we were actually able to develop a 3-year strategic plan for our ministry. And this is something that I took very serious, and I believe that is something that can really help change the trajectory of where the ministry that I have actually been able to run for the past year and a half can really go and really grow. I believe that this ministry is something that God has just really blessed me with and continues to bless me with. And I believe that if I continue on being a good steward of the ministry that God has blessed me with, especially being a good steward with the volunteer team that God's blessed me with, I believe that um, if I stay faithful with this plan, that I believe that the strategic plan can actually work. And so the 3-year strategic plan that I've actually developed is I want to be able to grow the ministry to 200 students showing up consistently every Sunday. So you hear that and you're like, whoa, like that's a lot. But I don't really believe it is. I believe that that's a fair number of students to expect on a given Sunday. So how our ministry works is it's a middle school. A little bit about the ministry that I run is it's a middle school environment for 6th to 8th graders that can come in, hang out for the first 10-15 minutes of service, and then we can go into our service. Either it's a message or we'll have a 4 or 5 week long Bible study, and then we'll split into our small groups. So they're actually gender-based small groups. So the guys will go with the guys and the girls will go with the girls, and we'll do that, and then we'll go back downstairs and service should be over. So, I don't really think that this is a unrealistic goal by any means, because I believe with the church that we actually attend, we get about 1,500 every Sunday for for the weekend. So I believe that there are at least 200 students that show up on a Sunday that just either don't know about the ministry or really don't want to go because they aren't interested, or their parents might not even be interested. So with this, I've developed a plan to hopefully just grab their attention and grab the parents' attention, and really trying to help grow this ministry. So the current body of students that shows up on a weekend consistently is 25 students for each service. So we get about 50 kids on a weekend. So I plan on growing this ministry by the 5 steps that were actually in Allison Kay's strategic planning for nonprofit organizations, and then that is organizational scan, theory of change, business model, organization capacity, and leadership. So let's jump into step 1. So step 1, environmental scan or organizational scan. So what we have to do is we have to fix up the environment. And what I mean by that is, one, we have to add more Xbox consoles and more game consoles, and have more creative games on stage. And, I say that and you might be confused right off the rip, because you're like, well, what does that matter? The students are there to learn about God and learn about their faith. And to that point, I absolutely agree. But I do believe that the methods are changing as to how we can draw students in. And I don't want that to get confused by, how we teach the kids, because that's not what I'm saying at all. I believe that the methods are changing as to how to draw the kids in, but we do still give them the same word of God that has been taught. And, that's what we want to do, is we want to be able to, pick up with the newest trends and pick up with all these things that kids are doing these days of playing video games, playing sports. We want to be able to adapt those methods, but then we also want to be able to teach them the same word of God that me and you both know. And so for that, we want to be able to add these consoles, add these things that kids like, and have more creative games on stage. And what I mean by that is, every service we are able to play a game on service with the students, and they're sometimes fun, they're sometimes messy, sometimes loud, you name it. And I had a girl tell me that besides besides the Bible study or besides the message, her favorite part was the game because it's so engaging. And I believe if we can really just grasp the attention of these students and grab their engagement and make them engaged and keep on giving them a reason to come back, they're going to learn about God, and they're going to want to become interested about their faith. And that was step 1, and let's go to step 2, because I believe step 2 is also very interesting. And with step 2, it's theory of change and program portfolio. So this is where we kind of are able to debrief about our goal with my ministry and what we seek to achieve. And when I was reading all about step 5, which was theory of change and program portfolio, it asked a question in the chapter, and it was, what is the ultimate goal our organization seeks to achieve? So for me, what is the ultimate goal that I want to be able to achieve with my ministry? And what our goal is we want to be able to create a space where middle school students can come into a community where they can expect to be cared for and where they can experience Jesus. And why I think that's so huge is I believe that students love to be called by name, and they love to be known. And I really want to have that level of intentionality in the ministry of, knowing these students by name, knowing what they're walking through, knowing if they play sports or not. And in order for us to do this, we'll need to grow our volunteer team. And that's something that we'll definitely be talking about a little later on in the slideshow. And for step 3, what it is, it's our business or ministry model. So lucky for us, the ministry is actually funded by the church. So how we're able to increase that budget is to grow our number of students. So we want to try to reach 50 new students, 25 each service a year. So by year 1, after year 1, we'll want to have a little over 100. Year 2, we'll want to have hopefully 150, hopefully more. And then year 3, want to have 200. So why I say that is because for us, we want to just be able to keep growing in numbers so that we can grow the budget and be able to grow in these things and try to just be able to use our resources to the best of our abilities to invest into the next generation. So step 4 is organization capacity. And when I was reading this step, there was actually a few elements that were listed, and I actually wanted to touch up on one specifically, and that was facilities and equipment. So one thing that my intern lead actually told me is that if we are able to reach 100 students, 50 each service, if we're able to reach 100 students and have them come consistently, we'll actually be able to move into a bigger area. So what does a bigger area mean for us? Well, it means more places for students to roam around, have fun, and just be engaged, and just to really have fun and have an amazing time at church. And we want to be able to create that environment for our students that might not be able to have an outlet like this of coming in, getting cared for, and learning about God. And we want to be able to just have this environment for our students that we care so much about for. And step 5 is the last step, and that is leadership team. Or leadership. So I talked about it before of creating a level of intentionality where we are able to know the students on a name basis, and that's going to be hard if we want to be able to reach a goal of 200 students. So I want to be able to recruit a volunteer team of 25 to 30 people. Luckily for us, I've actually already gotten a head start on that, and we are have a volunteer team of 7 people that volunteer, actually both services. So it's actually really huge for us because we're already off to a hot start. And out of those 25 to 30 people, we want to develop a core team of 7. So a core team. What do I mean by a core team? Well, I mean by having a core team of people that I know that can be my right-hand person, and if I need them to deliver a message on stage, or if I need them to come up with a game, man, I know that they're going to give me my best, or give me their best. And what I want to do with that core team is I want to be able to utilize them and help them develop and help develop the leaders in the core team. And lucky for us, we have a core team already. We're all pretty young adults. Myself, I'm 20, and my other people that volunteer with me are 21, 22. So they're actually a part of the core team that I have, and I want to be able to help develop these leaders, because I believe that God has just given them each of them a unique gift, and I want to be able to help them grow in that gift and help them develop their calling in every way that I can. So that was my 3-year goal and 3-year plan of how I'm going to achieve this mission of hopefully being able to have 200 students come consistently. And I believe that if I stay faithful to this plan and just make sure I'm always being a good steward of what God's blessed me with, I believe that this plan will be good to go with, and I believe that it will be acquired if I'm able to do these things. So thank you, and yeah, I hope that you enjoy